Hope you're happy, Eli. I'm drinking it. I'm drinking it normally now. All right. All right. So family, welcome to Breakfast with Algeron. So happy and grateful to be on this call on the very first day of 2022. Once again, guys, I really hope you guys enjoyed your holiday. You guys are enjoying your holiday. Hope you guys really took the time to reflect on how we're going to go into 2022 and what intentions we're going to have going into it, right? So the reason why I titled this call How to Get Ahead of the Crowd in 2022 is because I realized that most people have New Year's resolutions, right? Everyone, I think that the percentage is 90% of people have New Year's resolutions, right? And almost that same percent, right? Almost 90% of that 90% fall off of their New Year's resolutions by mid-February, right? That's why in January, you see everybody in the gym, everybody working, right? And then towards mid-February and March, you see majority of those people are no longer in the gym, right? That's because everyone has these goals, right? Everyone has goals, but they don't understand as to why they have them, right? Yes, we want to look good. We want to feel good. We want to be successful in our own realms of our life, but not a lot of people have really deeper questioned themselves as into why, how, right? And it's not their fault, right? It's not because these people are lazy. It's not because people, they're just not meant to reach their goals. Most people don't know how, right? We think we know how, but how can you take yourself somewhere that you've never been? And that's the real question I want a lot of people to think about when it comes to establishing New Year's resolutions, because most people simply need to be shown how. But in order to do that, you must have some type of leader, some type of mentor, someone who's been there, because they can then take you somewhere that you've never been. And that's the true definition of leadership, being able to take somebody somewhere that they never thought they'd be able to go. And that was, instilled upon me by my mentor, right? So here I am, former student, now becoming the teacher, and hoping that someone on this call will be able to receive this message, because the message is meant to be heard by the few, not the many, right? So I want you guys to understand the power behind having a vision. You see, I was listening to a motivational video by Simon Sinek, right? And he talked about most corporate companies, right? Most corporate companies don't really have a vision. And he used Apple because Apple is just so easy to understand. Everyone gets it. He explained how Apple's vision was the main reason why they became so successful. Because let's be honest, and, I had to kind of get over my pride to really come to terms in understanding this. Apple's products are truly substandard. Now, I love Apple. I have an Apple phone, Apple computer, right? Everything in my house is Apple, right? So this doesn't change what I use, but it's when you really just open your mind up and you're willing to understand, the facts, it's true. Apple's products are substandard, right? They're not the top products in their market, right? Their competitors are, like Samsung, stuff like that. There's better stuff out there than Apple, right? But that's not the real reason why people are so attracted to Apple, right? People are so attracted to Apple because they understand the vision. They relate to the vision. People get tattoos of the Apple logo on them. Why is that? Because it's more than just the product. It's more than just it's more than just having the best technology out there. It's about the vision. Apple's products is not what makes them stand out. It's the vision they have of being able to personalize their products, right? It may not be the best technology, but let's be real. It's so personal when it comes to that. And that vision carries on and being able to relate to people. Because at the end of the day, guys, we want to feel special. We want to feel unique. We want to have things built around us. That's just our human nature. But I say this to say, family, when you write your vision and you make it plain, you have to really understand, what is your foundation? Ask yourself, when you're setting your goals for this year, why are you here? What is your purpose? And that's how you build your goals around. But in order to do that, we deny ourselves the time to really getting to know ourselves. Most people want to be successful, but at the end of the day, they don't understand why, right? We can't be successful in life and not understand why we want it, right? Most people want it to better the lives of their families. Okay. Most people want to be successful because no one else in their family has been successful. Okay. But it all starts with the reason why. Why do you need to do this? Right? And being clear on, what do you want? Too many of us, and I was in the same boat 2 years ago, too many of us want success, but we don't understand what it means, right? We can't say we want something that we've never experienced, because then how do we know? My mentor would always say, set tangible goals. And let's look up what tangible means real quick, family. Tangible. Perceptible to touch, right? So when we're creating goals, right, we want to make goals that are something that we can physically see, we can physically hold in our hand, because that is where we truly start to understand what it means to achieve our goals. Too many of us set these high expectation goals, right? But they've never experienced it. So how do you know when you have it if it's not tangible? I want to be successful. Well, that's not tangible, because what is the definition of success? How do you know when you've reached a success if you've never been there, right? So instead of saying, I want to be rich, I want to have money, I want to have, set an actual number. You want to have 6 figures by the end of 2022? Okay, bet. That's tangible, because you know what that looks like, right? So as a part of getting ahead of the crowd, you have to be able to have a strong vision and plan, right? A clear vision is the greatest motivator, right? The more descriptive you are with your goals, the more you can be so detail oriented about the goals that you want to achieve. That'll be your greatest motivator, because you know precisely what you want. And it doesn't have to be about goals. It can be about anything you want in life. That perfect relationship, right? Getting married, that perfect house, right? The perfect car, whatever your ideal image of perfect is, right? Be very descriptive. If it's a house, how many bedrooms, how many bathrooms? What is each theme in each room of the house? A car, right? Down to the material of the car, the threading, right? The size of the tires, all the different extra features in the car, right? That's how descriptive you need to be going into 2022, but not a lot of people are doing that. They just say they want something, but they don't even understand why or what it looks like. And I want you guys to understand that you can't just use your heart and emotions, right? You got to use your brain. You can't just drive off of feeling, right? Feeling is the driving force, right? We are all emotional based creatures, right? Our emotions are what drives us. That's the fuel, right? But your mind is the steering wheel. You need both, right? You can't drive without gas, and you can't use gas without knowing what direction you're going into, right? Otherwise, either scenario is completely obsolete. So in order to successfully go in the direction you need to go into, you need to use both your emotions and your brain, right? Understanding where exactly you're going and using that emotion, right? Being so emotionally attached to that goal, that'll be your driving force to getting you guys there, right? That's why I said, we got low attendance today, but it's all good, because at the end of the day, this just shows you guys how precise and detailed I am for my goals. And I want to help you guys get there too, because it's not about me, right? It's not about me getting where I want to. It's about helping other people get to where they want to. But I can't motivate people. I can't make people motivated for their own goals, right? People have to show up for themselves, not for me, right? You got to show up for yourself. So tell your brain what direction you're going into, or else it won't do it. So you have to be the one to turn the steering wheel. The brain is a steering wheel, but you have to be the one to turn it. Otherwise, you're going to go nowhere, right? And for those that follow me on IG, right, I made a post earlier about being mindful of the words that you speak, right? There's difference. And if you guys don't know, go on my IG and look and check it out, right? There's certain words that we need to we need to exchange for another, right? Meaning that sometimes we say, I can't, I won't, I don't know how, right? The words you speak create the reality around you. So it's important to understand that goes hand in hand with when it comes to your goals. You have to be aware of what it is that you're saying to yourself, right? So the second part of how to be able to get ahead is removing other people's expectations. Guys, this is big, right? This is huge. Type of 111 in the chat if you felt like you had to live in someone else's expectations in 2021. If you felt like at one point in life, and one point in 2021, you were living under someone else's expectations and not your own, drop a 111 in the chat. And I do that as well, because part of 2021 consisted of me feeling like I needed to live in someone else's shadow. Not in someone else's shadow, but I had to base my goals around someone else's expectation, right? We do not owe anything to anyone but ourselves, right? So I'm challenging you guys to remove those expectations, whether it be your mom, your dad, your grandparents, your brothers, your sisters, your aunts, your uncles, your best friends, right? Remove those expectations. You do not need to fulfill anyone's expectations but your own, because it is your life and your life only, right? True freedom, I want you to understand that true freedom comes with living free of limits and expectations of others, right? I'm gonna say that again for you guys. True freedom is living life freely of limits and expectations of other people. So we are not free unless we're living under our own expectations. We are prisoners to our own minds and circumstances if we are not living under our expectations, right? The greatest prison people live is in the fear of other people's opinions. Too many of us are afraid to be our true selves because we're afraid of how others look at us. And I'm here to tell you guys that it is okay. I've lived in the mental prison of not being cool enough for, and this is my area, right? You know, I grew up in a small town in New Jersey, but for me, I was too uncool for every social group in my school, right? You guys ever heard the expression, you know, too black for the white kids and too white for the black kids? That was me, right? Because I didn't meet the status quo when it came to all the different social groups. But you know what? In spite of feeling left out, right? Not to say I didn't have friends, right? I did have friends, but for the most part, when you look at social groups in school, right? Everyone kind of has cliques. I didn't fit in any of them because I was so unique. I had a bit of every clique in my school within me. So because I was so adaptable, that's what made me stand out. Because I didn't conform to just one clique. That's why I got rejected by so many people. And I understand now that these things happen for a reason. Back then, I didn't have the development, the maturity to understand it, but things weren't happening to me. They were happening for me. And now here I am almost 10 years later. Now I understand why I went through what I went through. Now I understand that those obstacles were shaping me to be able to not care about living in other people's expectations. Whew, guys, I hope you guys rewatch this, because if you guys can really follow this, like, this is the key to how to really unlock your true self. Too many of us are living in shells of ourselves and not living our true self, because we're either too afraid to be judged, we're too afraid to be vulnerable. But guys, this is me being vulnerable with you all. When you shut yourself off, you're not only blocking the hurt from coming in, but you're also blocking the good from coming into life. So important, guys, to make sure you're being vulnerable, right? So the third key, right? So the second key was removing other people's expectations. Now, the third key is something that we avoid a lot, right? Being ready for a fight. Everybody wants to be a beast, right? Everybody wants to be in beast mode. They want to be the best of what they do. They want to be, they want to fill that role to the T. They want to be the, what's the expression? I forget what it is. Everyone wants to be the master in their field, right? But not everyone's willing to do what's necessary to do that, right? The training you did or you didn't do will be made evident when it is time to be tested, right? Most people don't want to be tested, right? You do all the training, right? You do all the studying, you do everything that's necessary. But when it comes to the real test, most people are folding. Most people not folding on others, but they're folding on themselves. So when it comes to being ready for the test, everything you do is leading up to the test. That is what you're preparing for, right? If you guys think about it, for all sports athletes, right? Professionals, right? They actually are in one season, right? When it comes to sports, you guys are, if you guys, anybody who's done sports, right? Let's say football, for example. Football is for like the fall season, maybe a little bit into the winter. But they train all year round, right? The off season is longer than the actual season. The reason being is that you have to put in a whole lot of work, a whole lot of repetition to be able to be ready for the test, right? David Goggins, for example, right? Motivational speaker. I love him. I absolutely love what he stands for, right? David Goggins at one point held the world record for most, I think it was pull-ups, right? I think he did about 10,000. But I want you guys to understand that he said training up to that, he did over 50,000 pull-ups. Think about that. The world record was 10,000, but in total building up to it, he put in about 50,000 reps. 50,000 reps to get 10,000, right? So you have to make sure you're putting in enough work. You have to make sure that you're doing everything you need to, right? To be prepared for that test. Now, what is that test? Well, that test is personalized to you. I can't tell you what your test is because we all have different tests. You know when you're being tested because you know that everything you did in the building up to that moment, right, was where you should have been training, was where you should have been practicing and building your mind, right? But only you know if you were prepared for it, right? Just like, right, we ever been in school? Right? How many of us, right, let's be honest, guys, let's be honest. Drop a 222 in the chat if you ever studied for a test the night before. I'll do it. That was me practically all my pretty much all my school career. I would always study last minute. All right. And how did that turn out, guys? How did that turn out? Right? You felt we didn't feel confident, right? We didn't feel like, some of us might have felt confident. I could be speaking for myself, but I never felt confident when I studied the night before. because I'd be tired. I'd stay up all night. I wake up tired, not feeling exhausted. And basically all that stress I put myself, my mind, and my body through, right? And you get to test, right? You get to test a week later and it's like a D or it's like an F. And you just feel you feel even worse because you not only did things last minute, but you also weren't giving it quality time, right? You weren't really prepared for that. That's the same thing that goes when it comes to our goals, right? When you didn't study, right? And then you get tested, you know how you did, right? Let's be real, guys. We know how we did. The moment you see that first question, you're like, oh man, you already know where this is going, right? That very first question, right? Happened to me. But that's what it comes to. That's the same exact scenario when it comes to being prepared for your goals, right? You have to study. What does studying consist of? Morning routine, goal setting on Sundays, right? Planning out your day. That's how you study. But that's what most people aren't doing. So that's why I'm getting on this call, guys, to show you how you can get ahead of the crowd. No one is doing this. They didn't do it last year. They're not going to do it this year. History repeats itself. But I'm giving you guys the tools that you need to be able to break that cycle. Break your cycle in 2022. Don't wait for 2023 to be able to start, right? You have a fresh, brand new year to be the best version of yourself, Dario. You can be the best version of yourself, Ile, right? You can be the best version of yourself, Daisy, right? Now is the time. Be the best version of yourself today. It's January 1st. Do what everyone else is not doing right now. Everyone else is laxing right now. They're chilling, right? They're kicking it. You could be the one putting in the work, having that Kobe mindset, that Black Mamba mentality. When everyone else is relaxing, you're out there on the court practicing your jumper, practicing whatever your skill is you're trying to master, right? I know we have some musicians on here. This is the time. This is the time to be really putting in the work, right? So understand, guys, that no matter what you do, there's going to be a fight, and that fight's going to be your test. You have to prepare for that. If you don't have the hunt, you won't be able to train for what you want, right? I had to read that quote from my mentor. If you don't have the hunt, you won't be able to train for what you want. And it can't be just money, guys. Let's be real. We can't make it just about money, right? Money is the lowest hanging fruit. Money is a resource. Money is a resource. Let's just understand that. It's not the essence of life itself. It's a resource. Yes, we need it. But do you actually die? Do you actually get sick from not having money? Yeah, I guess in a way, like I said, it's a resource, but money directly doesn't tie down to how you're feeling on the inside, right? You have to live from the inside out, not the outside in. And I want you guys to really understand that it's not money that is really the important thing in life. It's time, right? You can print money, but you can't print what, guys? You can print money, but you can't print. Someone drop in the chat. Make sure we awake, fam. Make sure we awake. Anybody? Oh, we got people online. Okay, we got people on YouTube as well. There you go. Time, right? Shout out to the fam on YouTube. Time. You can print money, but you can't print time, guys, right? So I want you guys, again, to recap. Absolutely. Daisy got it, right? Love yourself, not to fit for other people's expectations. Most people, I realize, guys, they don't like to be trained because they don't like to be tested. And that's something that you can't teach people to do. They have to want their goals for them, not for you, not for anybody else. So when you're training people, because I want you guys to really like take this information, because I got this information from my mentor, actually specifically Eric Thomas, right? And I want you guys to really go out there and teach somebody this, send them this video, and then talk about it after. I don't need the credit. I just want to be that voice for somebody who needs to hear the message. Because if I sat around with this knowledge and not shared it, then I'm doing the world a disservice. I didn't leave the world a little bit better than when I found it, right? But make sure that when you guys are looking into your resources, use the mentor that you have. We should all have a mentor. And if you don't, I don't have to be your mentor. I don't, I want people, I want to be able to be a mutuality when it comes to a mentee and a mentor, but I don't have to be a mentor to you guys, right? I can be a resource. I can help you guys find the mentor that's going to help you guys guide you. That's what I'm here for, right? But, and also too, utilizing access to this information. Guys, we've been rocking Breakfast with Algernon. We're closing up to a year, right? I'm excited. We're actually getting close to a year for Breakfast with Algernon. I'm so excited about it because, like, who would have thought, right? But but I want you guys to really reflect, understand what are your gifts? What can you do that you love that you can help better the world? And this all revolves around the same concepts of goal setting, guys. I know you guys hear it over and over again, but I'm doing it for a reason, right? The more you hear it, the more it sticks out in your mind. So there's a method to my madness, right? But I want you guys to really sit down, take 10, 15 minutes, guys, and really write down what are you going to do for this year, right? And I want to show you guys, I know I can't really show it on IG, but let me see if I can do this on Zoom and I'll flip my camera around. Because I want you guys to really like, this is how I help somebody else set their goals for the year. And they thanked me. They absolutely loved it. They love the idea of it. So what I'm gonna do for IG is I'm gonna flip it around for you guys so you guys can see. All right, flip. You guys kind of see my ring light a little bit. All right, here we go. All right, so what I want you guys, when you guys are setting your goals, right? I want you guys to ask yourself, oh, come on now. Hang on, family. It's like not letting me, here we go. Okay, here we go. So when it comes to goals, I want you guys to ask yourself, what how, when, stretch this out, and why. So what you guys can do, right? And this is a mentor of mine that showed me this, is when you're setting your goals, put it on a piece of paper, write it down. Too many people are relying upon this technology to be able to set their goals. And most people will put it in their phones and never look at it again. So this is why I say, write it down and put it somewhere you're going to see it. So all your goals for 2022, I want you guys to write down, what is that goal, right? For example, you want to increase your income for 2022, right? Write that down. That's what the goal is. I want to have a six-figure income by end of 2022. All right, that's what. How are you going to do that? Well, I'm going to, based on a six-figure income, that's what? I need to calculate real quick. I think it's like 300. So if you want to have a six-figure income, right, that's going to be about divided by 365, right? That's going to be about $274 a day, right? So that's the how. In order to make a six-figure income, you need to make $274 a day. Now, is that going to come from just a 9-to-5 job, guys? No. I mean, unless you guys unless that job is paying you guys well, no. That's why you need to diversify your income, crypto, trading, side hustles, right? Whatever you need to, but that is the goal for that 273 income, right? So that's the how. When? By the end of 2022. And then why? Why do you need to obtain that goal? Because knowing my family else is doing it, and I want to be the first to show them how to be able to do that. I want to create generational wealth for my family. So guys, if that makes sense, right? If this type of format makes sense to you guys, drop a 333 in the chat for me. Because I just wanted to make sure that we were actually able to follow that. So that's how you can really set some strong goals for yourself. Yeah, I still got my Christmas tree up. Don't laugh at me too hard, guys. But that's how you set really strong goals for yourself. That's how you get emotionally attached, right, to those goals. You have to be so descriptive of what you want. What is the goal? How are you going to do it? When are you going to do it? And why? The when is important because it holds you accountable. Because when you look back at that and you see that date, when you said you were going to accomplish it, that's when your test is due. That's the deadline, right? So I hope you guys got some amazing value off of this. I've never been so more ambition and so motivated to really striving for my goals this year, right? Because like I said, last year I was focused on myself. Now this year is to literally help everybody in the Breakfast with Algernon community. We're going to literally start to have some outside of the shirts, right? This is like a prototype, but we're going to have designer clothes. We're going to have mugs. My goal is we're going to have special guests on these calls, right? Because it's been enough about me talking. Now I want you guys to hear this information coming from people who have done this 5-10 years down the line, and they had the results, right? I'm getting there. I'm on the same journey with you guys, but I want you guys to start to hear from people who have actually done it, who have disciplined themselves for a period of time where now they can show you guys this actually works, right? So I'm speaking into existence now, brand, merchandise, and we're bringing on some special guests, guys, right? I've already been talking to a couple of leaders and a couple of other six-figure earners, and I think it's going to be an amazing year in 2022. So definitely want to help continue to build this community, guys. It's not about me. This community is about us. There would be no Breakfast with Algernon without each and every single one of you. So definitely stay tuned, guys. Hope you guys have an amazing weekend. Enjoy your holiday. But definitely remember, guys, the goal setting starts today. Don't push it off till Saturday. Don't push it off till Sunday, right? Just take 10-15 minutes, right? You owe it to yourself. And remember, guys, never live under anyone else's expectations besides your own. And that is how you get ahead of the crowd in 2022, guys. So have it a blessed and amazing day. I want to say a quick prayer, guys, just to send you guys off with. I know the past couple of calls I haven't done it. So I want to also get back into putting God first, because at the end of the day, there wouldn't be anything without him. So that being said, bow your heads for a moment and so say a quick prayer. Dear Heavenly Father, thank you so much for bringing us into 2022 with a bang. Thank you for giving us the opportunity to be able to set goals for ourselves so that we can become the best version of ourselves. I thank you for continually building the Breakfast with Algernon community. I ask that you continually bless those that are on the call and those that couldn't make it. Please put your hand over those who feel lost and don't know where to start going into this year. And I ask that you continually put your hand over those that are going through hard times and that are sick right now, Father. And I just ask you continually look over those, whether they believe in you or not. Just make your presence known to them and let them know that you're always there for them regardless. In your name I pray. Amen. 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 Love you guys. Have an amazing day, guys. Set those goals today, right? Set those goals today so that the rest of this year will be absolute breeze, guys. Have an amazing day, guys. Peace and love. We out.